What's new in CloudBees CI 2.375.2.2? Are you new here? If you are, welcome. And if you are new here, you don't know who I am. My name is Darren Pope, and I'm a developer advocate for CloudBees. On January 11th, 2023, CloudBees CI 2.375.2.2 was released. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the changes in that release. If you've never taken a look at the release notes for CloudBees CI, let me show you how to get there. We're going to start at docs.cloudbees.com. We'll hover over documentation and go to CloudBees CI. And then in the documentation dropdown, we'll select that and go to release notes. And now we're on the release notes for CloudBees CI. I want to call out one thing at the top of this documentation. You'll see an important section there. And it says, if you skip versions when you upgrade. So for example, if you're going from version 2.361.4.1 to 2.375.2.2, you're going to need to also review the release notes that are associated with 2.375.1.1. In other words, you want to be able to track all of the changes from the version that you're currently running to the version that you're installing. For this release, there are a few items that are different for modern cloud platforms. We'll look at those in just a few moments, but let's start with traditional platforms. And if we take a look at this, there are no new features, but there are some feature enhancements. There are two key items for this release. One is changes to the CloudBees Skip Next Build plugin, and also the CloudBees Inactive Items plugin has now graduated from being preview to generally available. You'll see different issues here that are associated to both of those plugins. So if you're interested in learning more about Skip Build and also Inactive Items, be sure to take a look at the documentation pages for those two plugins. Let's go ahead and scroll down the page a little bit more. There were a number of issues that were resolved in this release, but in this release, one of the big items is under the upgrade notes. And for this release, there are a number of plugins that have been removed from the CloudBees Assurance program. Now, what does this mean by removing a plugin from the CloudBees Assurance program? This means that these plugins that are listed here under plugin removal will not be receiving any new features or bug or security fixes. Now, on the other hand, that doesn't mean that you cannot install these plugins by yourself and keep them maintained for yourself. If you're running any of these plugins and you have further questions, you can go ahead and contact CloudBees support. They'll be happy to help you out. Now let's go ahead and go back over to our general release notes, and let's go to the release notes for modern cloud platforms. Again, all of the items that are listed for modern cloud platforms are exactly the same as what we saw over in traditional, except for three items. If we go down to the resolved section, the three items at the top of the resolved section are specific to modern cloud platforms. Number one, the Operations Center container image was creating broken symlinks. That's been resolved. The third item is similar to the first item, but probably the biggest item for this is that the Kubernetes deployment spec always picked up the first container. With this release, now it's going to look for the controller running by name instead of just picking the first item. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on Twitter at CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on that subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.